and only 7 blue sources. So 5 blue spells in the main deck.
I like this list a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot better than the standard lists we've been seeing.
Yeah, his cards are all good.
Right. This deck is playing some main deck Distress, is playing some main deck Feast and Famine, main deck Nihil Spellbomb.
Yeah, the Fume Spitters are pretty bad, but that's about it.
Right. You have to have some number of them, I think.
Yeah.
But I like that he's cut down to 2. So both players, Distress.
And Distress, it's a card we haven't seen at all.
No.
In the stack, but... Ooh.
Wow.
That's kind of... It's an interesting hand, because it doesn't really have any ramp. Right now, it doesn't really do anything.
No, right now this hand is very bad.
Yeah, but this hand has the potential to get very good very fast.
Yeah.
That's like, I would keep this hand.
I would not keep this hand.
And if he did not have 1 Slagstorm, if his opening hand was 2 Inkmoths, the Copper Light Gorge, and then all the other cards, minus 1 Slagstorm,
well,
we don't keep that?
We don't know the 8th. I probably wouldn't, no.
Really? Oh, I do.
Okay. So Andrew takes the Huntmaster, which is definitely what I would have taken. Oh, and masterfully, a Sphere of the Sun's drawn for Gerald.
Yeah, I would have kept it.
Yeah. And you would have gotten there, like the miser you are. So
no, because the redraw value on that is just too high. Like, if you hit, like, one of, like, more than half your deck in 3 turns, you just, like, win.
That's true. The hand is really powerful. So Andrew, turn 3, Gerald's Messenger. Drops Gerald to 18. This isn't Gerald Thompson, is it?
This is not Gerald Thompson.
Okay, sort of similar.
Yes, they both have the first name. Gerald.
Yeah. Both Geraldsons. So Rampant Growth is his draw this turn. Another very good draw.
Yeah, it's just about...
Yeah. Not as good as, say, another Copperline Gorge, but still pretty good.
I mean, he can just still play an Inkmoth post-combat here.
Yeah.
And then he untaps, and if he draws land, he can be casting Primeval Titan.
On turn 4 through a Distress. That's impressive.
And let's say he doesn't draw that. His hand is still full of absurd things that he can do next turn.
Right.
Like Dark, Primal Hunter.
Yeah, that one's not bad on turn 4 versus a zombie deck.
Not at all.
So Andrew attacks with the Messenger, brings Gerald to 15, plays a land, and looks to be landing. Okay, a 4-mana Metamorph copying Messenger.
And that's very reasonable.
That's really good, yeah.
That puts some pressure on Gerald here.
Right, and now he can't Slagstorm, because he just takes approximately 1 million damage from a Slagstorm.
Yeah, Slagstorm here, he's going to take 4 when the zombie's coming back.
Right, and then
he takes
8
on the backswing, so it puts him down to 2. And then he's dead to Mortar Pod, to Gerald's Messenger, to, a Phantasmal. He's just dead to so much.
Right. Instead, it looks like he will be playing a Primeval Titan, since he did draw the Mountain. And, these are some of the best draws Gerald could have had, and it still might not be enough. If Andrew has a removal spell, he's going to be in very good shape.
And Andrew's hand, pretty good. Going Distress, Gerald's Messenger,
Yeah.
Preventing Gerald from being able to play that Huntmaster on turn 3 there.
Yeah, that was really key.
Super key. If that Huntmaster comes into play, this game is very different.
Right. And Andrew probably doesn't win.
Probably not. So Distress really being an all-star here for Andrew Wilston.
I think Distress is one of the underplayed cards out of zombies.
Good.
Sword of Feast and Famine. Wow.
Whoa.
And he sends with both creatures this way. Yeah, this is awesome. This way, if Gerald blocks the Metamorph, it gets to come back with a +1/+1 counter as a Primeval Titan.
Yes.
Which is amazing. It's a 7/7 Primeval Titan. And Andrew knows every card in Gerald's hand, since Gerald has played every spell he's drawn, and nothing in his hand beats a 7/7 Titan. That said, I think Gerald has to block.
I think you're right.
So, he does block. Lands in front of the creatures. Oh, copies the Messenger. Okay.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, that's...
Just dealing your opponent the maximum amount of damage. You have now that you have the Messenger and the Sword of Feast and Famine in play.
Right.
And it's just incredibly difficult for Gerald. With what Gerald has in play, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, I think so too. That attack dropped him to 8 life, and then 6 when that messenger comes into play. So right now, Gerald is in chump block with Nexus mode. Oh, and that mode is pretty tough with the Mortar Pot.
Yes, not very easy to pull off.
Wow.
Something we've seen a lot this weekend is we've seen people just use their Mortar Pot as soon as they cast it. And having a Mortar Pot just sit there and play with a guy on it is a really valuable thing to have in play.
It definitely is. But, okay. So, Gerald sacks the token, or rather, Andrew sacks the token, bringing Gerald to 5, equips Mortar Pod to Messenger, sacks bring him to 4, and then 2, and then says go. But don't we know that he has a Slag Storm in hand?
We do.
He must have another Messenger. This is the only play. This is the only way that this play really makes sense. Or like 2 Gets Verdict or something. I hope so, anyway.
Yeah, I really hope so. Because, I mean, there was like no way he could lose that game.
Right. So we'll see what Andrew has after this turn. Attacks with Primeval Titan. Trigger. Get the 4th Nexus. And I imagine he'll get a dual land. Yep, a Copperline Gorge. And there we see him shuffle up. And he's just praying that Andrew screwed up and he's not dead. Because one more turn should be all he needs.
I mean, he basically just kills him next turn, right?
I think so. I haven't done the
now
math.
He has all these Ink Moths to block with.
Right. Yeah, there's no way that Andrew's killing with combat damage this game. So Andrew right now can have a combination of 2 Mortar Pod. Mortar Pod gets Verdict, 2 gets Verdict. The 3rd Messenger, Diregraph Captain plus another zombie. But he's shuffling his hand like he doesn't have it.
He really had to find a way to lose there.
Why he main phased that Mortar Pod is beyond me.
Yeah, it really doesn't make much sense.
That creature had more than 3 toughness, and he knew his opponent had a Slag Storm. So I'm not sure what he was thinking there, but I think he found a way to lose this game that was borderline unlosable. So right now, Wolf Run can pump for 8. So right now, this Primeval Titan's lethal, assuming Andrew doesn't have something. Since 8 plus 6 is 14.
And 14 happens to be Andrew Wilson's life total.
How about that, huh? It's funny how that works. So searches up 2 more Copperline Gorges with this Titan. And we'll see if he goes for it here. His other option would just be to cast Garruk Primal Hunter instead. But not killing your opponent seems wrong.
Yeah, I like the kill him
Right.
play.
Worst case scenario, he has a Geth's Verdict. But that's not that bad. So yeah, he goes for it. Andrew points out that the Sphere of the Suns has 0 counters.
Yes.
And Tragic Slips to stay at 1 life.
Yes.
So he will have 1 turn to draw one of his 2 messengers left in the deck. And we'll see if that's it. Yeah, I don't think so. He's not slamming it. Nope, that's not it. So Andrew Wilson loses that one.
And that was rough.
Got his opponent to 2. Yeah. If he had...
And he had that game pretty much locked up from many different angles. Like, I had a suggested line of play that made him automatically win, and you had a different suggested line of play that made him automatically win.
Right. But instead, he chose his own path, which resulted in a loss. It was sort of like a choose-your-own-adventure book.
It was. Now, Magic's an interesting game because that just shows how interesting this game is, that in that one game there, we found 3 different ways that one could approach that game and choose to play that game.
Right. So right now, Andrew will be on the play for game 2. Let's see what he has in the sideboard. He has 2 Obliterators and a Swamp. Those will for sure come in. Zombie Apocalypse? He has Zombie Apocalypse!
Excited. He has Zombie Apocalypse!
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So he probably won't be bringing them in, though.
I don't think so.
So
They do kill Hubmaster the Fells.
that's true. Yeah, he doesn't have much to bring in. Swamp, Obliterator, Distress will be it. He might bring an Evil Twin to copy, say, one of his Obliterators or a Titan, but that seems pretty marginal to me. Not sure if this is the match that he wants it.
You don't bring in the Go for the Throats?
I'm not sure. I guess it's better than Tragic Slip in this matchup.
It has to be, right?
That's a good swap. I do like that.
Gerald, on the other hand, in his sideboard, we have access to some Ancient Grudges, a pair of those.
Yep.
After seeing sort of Feast and Famine and Mortarpod in game 1.
I have to imagine he'll bring in at least one.
And bringing in 2 is fine. I mean, it's
really hard to draw both of them.
It is hard to draw both of them. You know, you're not a deck where you're like cantripping and casting Ponder and stuff. If you draw both, it's kind of unlucky. But ironically, there are some games where you want to draw both.
Oh, definitely.
So
it's fine to discard a Sword of Feast and Famine when you're tapped out. That's for sure.
Very true.
He has Beast Withins, which if I'm Gerald, I bring at least 2 of those in, just because Phyrexian Obliterator is so hard to deal with otherwise. Like it's not a card you want to draw.
The thing is, does he know that Andrew has access to Phyrexian Obliterator, though?
He should. I don't know if he does, but he probably should. He has Karn Liberated, won't see much of that one. Combust, nope. Thrun, we'll probably see Thrun just as a cheaper way to interact. He'll probably take out some of his Primeval Titans, board and stuff like Thrun. But otherwise, his deck's staying pretty similar. His deck's already set up pretty well to beat Mono Black Zombies, I think.
I think you're right.
Might take out like Garruk Primal Hunter. Now, I'm not sure how good that one is. He'll stick with his Garruk Relentlesses though. Those are great at killing Diregraph Ghouls.
Yeah, Garruk Relentless, he's a beating here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll make a 2/2 that'll trade with any creature in your deck, or I will.
He's aptly named.
Yeah. Relentless.
Yes.
Unreal. Relentless. Magic cards have an interesting intonation, don't they?
Yes.
Unreal. That's my favorite of them.
Lord of the Unreal?
Lord of the Unreal. Emphasis on the un, of course. So yeah, maybe Andrew, someone points out on Twitter, maybe Andrew forgot that his opponent had 2 Slag Storms because he did discard one to the sword. Maybe he said, okay, now that Slag Storm's out of the way, I can main phase sack my messenger.
But there's really not a reason to do it.
No, I'm not sure.
Your opponent can draw an Inferno Titan, they can draw, another Slag Storm.
Right.
They could even activate a Nexus and Galvanic Blast.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
There's just really no reason to do it. Like, the game was locked up.
Right. And actually, Andrew Mantha points out he also could have main phased the Morbid Tragic Slip and killed the Titan. Because the Tragic Slip was Morbid that turn. That's true.
Alright, so Andrew with a turn 1 Ghoul Raiser.
Gravecrawler,
I'm sorry. Ghoul Raiser, not quite.
Turn 1, Swamp, Ritual, Ghoul Raiser. Go.
Alright, so a Diregraph Ghoul coming down to join the Gravecrawler.
Yep. And Gerald only has a Rampant Growth. He'll go fetch up a mountain, it looks like. Bringing his mana count up to 3, halfway to Primeval Titan.
Halfway there on turn 2.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I imagine he might be casting a Primeval Titan as early as turn 4.
Imagine that.
Imagine
turn 4.
that.
There are no draws.
How it always happens.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
You know what I really like to do? I like to cast Scape Shift when I have 7 lands on turn 4.
Yeah.
That's the best.
That's nice too.
I love it.
I did that to you in that PTQ, I think.
You did. That's how you beat me one game.
Scape Shift. Only one though.
Yeah.
So Andrew comes crashing in for 4, bringing Gerald to 14. And if he has a messenger, would be a very good draw.
Yeah, it'd be absurd.
Ooh, Distress is pretty nice too.
Distress is pretty good here.
So acceleration. Ooh. Autumn's Veil Surgical.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a weird hand for him.
Yeah, not what I expected he'd have in hand. Really.
And not what I thought he would have in hand either.
So if you're Andrew right now, do you just not care about any of those cards except Huntmaster?
Yeah, they don't do anything, right?
Right. As far as I can tell.
He takes a Huntmaster.
Yeah.
All right, nice.
Yeah, good play, Andrew. I like that. He leaves him with a Rampant Growth, a Sphere of the Suns, a Surgical, an Autumn's Veil, and another Huntmaster. We'll see if Gerald can continue his streak with the land. No. Draws a Galblast.
Yeah.
Still pretty good.
Definitely pretty good.
Probably the best non-land draw Gerald could have had. So he'll search his library for a basic land.
Well, he has Garruk Primal Hunter in his deck, but he also has Slag Storms. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Slag Storm's really the only card he wants to cast next turn if he draws it, and he has the Sphere of the Suns for any double greens he might draw. Although he would like to cast a Thrun too, but more likely he draws a Slag Storm. So he'll pass back to Andrew, who will untap. And these creatures will come in.
Andrew attacking for 4. Gerald down to 10 already.
Yeah. Chooses not to Galvanic Blast that Diagraph Pool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, playing for the long game.
He's going to go ahead and Galvanic Blast the
Gravecrawler. Okay.
He has Surgical Attraction in hand.
I see. That makes a little more sense now. Even so, though, 2 life right now is a lot of life.
That's pretty valuable. He also could have done it when it,
Draw step?
or when it attacked.
Right. So
That way you would have made him pay the mana for it, too.
Yep. So we see Andrew's hand, which is go for the throat, image.
That's pretty good.
That's really good, yeah. And Gerald will...
The images can copy Huntmasters now.
Yeah. And that's really strong. So Gerald drops to 8 life from that Surgical. Also, if I were Gerald, I probably would have done that Surgical, or at least waited till I untapped and drew.
Yeah.
No reason not to have that free
wait
information.
for his draw step.
That too. That works too. Both would be better. Draw step would be the best.
Yeah, because if you do it during his draw step, then if he draws one, you just get a free card.
Exactly.
Free cards are sweet.
The sweetest.
I always take free card opportunities. I'm a free card opportunist.
I guess if there's any kind of opportunist you want to be, that's going to be it.
Yeah.
Better than being the magic card opportunist. Do you know that one?
I do not.
Ooh, Tempest card. So, Huntmaster. Green mana will be needed to tap for that.
Green mana is a required thing to have for the Huntmaster.
So, Andrew can...
But that's actually good for him, because now he has Galvanic Blast mana
Right.
open.
Andrew can pretty much deduce that Gerald does not have a Galvanic Blast.
Yeah. He basically knows that with 100% certainty right now.
I guess knowing all the cards in his hand will do it too, but...
That's true. He knows that too. But he does not write them down.
True.
Which is an error.
Yeah, you should always write the cards down when you know them.
Yep.
So Gerald goes back up to 10, puts 2 bodies in play, and we'll see how Andrew plays this. Now, if Andrew drew a land, this would be perfect, because he could image the Huntmaster, Mortar Pod, move the Mortar Pod. Important to note the interaction between Kessig Wolfrun and Image, though. At any time, Gerald can just spend 3 mana to kill that Phyrexian Image, or that image, rather.
Yeah, and that's something that's always been really good in these Wolfrun style decks. When you play against the Illusions deck, a lot of the time you just get to the point of the game where you can just grind them out by just killing all their illusions.
Right. Not having to spend a card on...
Kessig Wolfrun. That's the thing. Being a free card opportunist has value in the game of Magic the Gathering.
It does. Okay, so Mortar Pod shoots the Huntmaster, and the freshly drawn Tragic Slip finishes it off. Diagraph Ghoul comes in.
Let's see if Gerald is a free card opportunist as we are. Do you block there? I blocked there.
Yeah, I think I do.
There's no reason not to.
I think you have to stem the bleeding as much as possible.
Yeah. It's also like he could be, if he blocked there and he got Manic Blasted before, he right now would be 11 instead of 7.
Yes.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, versus the mono black deck?
Yeah, I think 11 you're winning this game, 7 you're losing this game.
I agree. Especially with the Mortar Pod in play.
Yeah.
So that's his Wolf Friend pile. It looks like he will indeed be killing that image.
So Gerald is, like us, a free card opportunist. He's really greedy. He waits as long as possible to do stuff. But I think that's kind of like, that's a good habit to be in. If you're learning how to play and you're going to be in one habit or the other, being as greedy as possible is definitely like one way to approach the game. I appreciate
it's definitely a better way. I mean, you don't want to chump block on turn 2.
Yeah,
that's not how you... Yeah, no way. But versus some decks, like the mono black zombie deck, or versus most mono red decks, you just want to conserve your life total.
Go for the throat the wolf before combat. And see, last turn he would have been able to block something, and now he makes that go for the throat live.
Yeah, that's true. Which he knew about too. He knew about the go for the throat.
He did. This was surgical extraction.
So Inkmoth Nexus will jump in the way of Diregraph Duel.
Yeah, it's got to do what it's got to do.
Yep.
5 now. Gerald Orrison. Can he come up with a play? Sphere of the Suns, not quite what he's looking for. At least kind of holding his situation. I'm also surprised, couldn't he have used an Autumn's Veil?
Oh, an Autumn's Veil. That's the one you're
hand
thinking
to counter the go for the throat.
Oh, I forgot he had that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he could have just countered the go for the throat.
Wow. So both players sort of taking unusual lines of play in these two games. I'm hesitant to call them wrong, but from the booth, that's exactly what it looks like they are. But we'll see how this game plays out here. Andrew right now has 3 points of attacking power, and if he plans on attacking, he should equip the Mortar Pod to that Diregraph Duel.
Yeah.
So he can at least get one more ping in after it gets blocked with Nexus.
That's being a free tempo opportunist.
Is that like
another
Free
good
Willy?
practice?
Free tempo? Free Willy?
Yeah, we should write a column on this. This would be a fun first column for you.
Oh, there we go.
A free tempo opportunist and a free card opportunist.
There are really two schools of thought in the magical community here. All right, so Mortar Pod equips the Diregraph. Good play.
Very nice.
And Nexus blocks the Wolf. Okay. So
I mean, that's actually really good if he draws a Huntmaster of the Fells.
yes. That's
so
what
he's playing for Huntmaster of the Fells. So he's playing for something there. That's pretty good. He's going to 4 here after that.
And then
Phantasmal Image comes down. What's that copying? It's just copying a ghoul.
random 2/2 it looks like.
And that's very reasonable. His opponent's at 4.
Yep.
He has a Mortar Pod in play.
Exactly. It's not like that image will be doing anything else this game.
No.
He just needs to have the maximum amount of pressure on. See, this way, this basically early frost Gerald. Ties up 3 of his lands during his turn. And all he'll be able to do is play a 2-drop or say go. Yeah, his hand right now, Autumn's Veil, Primeval Titan, Garruk Primal Hunter. Just 1 mana short of being able to cast the Titan.
Yeah, and if he hadn't had to chump block with one of those Inkmoth Nexuses,
Yep.
he'd be right there. Fortunately, he just didn't have that body, that wolf.
Yeah, at this point in the game, it looks like Autumn's Veil, not using that was definitely a mistake. Dying with Autumn's Veil in your hand, not a good situation. And, yep, Wolf Run takes out the image. And Gerald...
Andrew has lethal on board.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's the game. So, to game 3 they go.
An interesting series of events, this match.
Which one's Lemony Snicket?
The whole world is upside down.
Oh boy. So Andrew evens it up at 1 game apiece, but he will have to break serve for game 3. He will have to be on the draw. which is not where you want to be against Wolf Run ever.
No. Being on the draw against Wolf Run is
Definitely a bad thing.
not a good set of circumstances.
No.
To be
Okay,
in.
and apparently, Drake, we just weren't paying too much attention because he had to tap the green to use his Wolf Run to kill that image and not use the Autumn's Veil.
Okay.
But I don't understand how he even had the opportunity to do that. Because don't you block and then use Wolf Run? That seems to me to be the most optimal way to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe he got a little hasty, Wolf Run before blockers, something like that.
He did it main phase instead of just
main
but he
phase,
would have
right.
had Autumn's Veil up had he just waited, is
Right.
what I was saying.
I think what he thought was that it would flip. If he said go and didn't kill it on his turn.
Okay. I understand.
Right.
It would not flip.
Right, it would not
For
flip
reference.
because it's not a double-sided card.
But a lot of people don't know the ruling on that.
Right. It seems like it should.
Yeah,
But it doesn't.
It's strange. It's strange because it's one of those newer rulings that exist that is not printed on the card.
Right.
And I don't really appreciate those types of things sometimes.
No, I don't really like the execution on double-face cards in general, unfortunately. Do you know what would be really good? Would be
They play well once you know how they work.
Oh, they definitely
But
do.
I have many friends who I play with, who I've been playing with for many, many, many years. And our first draft where we had double-face cards was extremely confusing for them. And these are people who have all qualified for the Pro Tour before.
Right.
And are good Magic players. And we've never had an issue like that.
Yeah, they just have no idea what's going on with them.
Yeah.
See, I think a pretty good solution, maybe one that wouldn't be feasible, but a pretty good one was instead of having a checklist card, have a pre-made card, like a pre-made checklist card with the picture of the flip card that comes in that pack. So let's say your pack has a Huntmaster of the Fells, your checklist is already filled out, has a picture of Huntmaster, and is just a checklist for Huntmaster. So that way for limited,
That seems like a really reasonable idea.
yeah. I can't take credit for it, but once suggested to me, it seems awesome.
I agree.
I think probably the problem would
really
be
awesome.
for maybe collating packs and the random distribution, et cetera, et cetera. Might be too difficult to pull off.
Yeah, it would certainly have some cost to it.
Yeah. Some opportunity cost to it. So, who do you think's favored? Wolf Run on the play.
Wolf Run on the play.
Yeah, I think so too. It's such a different thing than Wolf Run on the draw.
Wolf Run on the play it's really hard. They have a Primeval Titan in play before you've really...
Even attack with your messenger.
Yeah, it's really, really hard.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Andrew's best chance here is going to be turn 1 Guy, turn 2 Distress, turn 3 Messenger. That's the draw he wants. We'll see if he can get it. Distress is going to be key, though.
Distress is really nice here. And, I think Distress, does he have anything else? He has extra Distresses post-board. So hopefully he brought those in. Because I think, if you Distress these Wolf Run decks, there are a lot of hands they have where they really only have 1 6.
Right.
Or sometimes they have no 6s. Last time all he really had to deal with the entire game was one Huntmaster.
One Huntmaster, yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah. He could use all his resources on that Huntmaster because he knew that Gerald didn't really have anything else.
Yeah.
Because he had cards like Autumn's Veil and Surgical.
Yeah, I don't think I would have brought those in.
No, definitely not. You can usually not afford to keep 1 mana up for Autumn's Veil, and Surgical, if all it's doing is killing Gravecrawlers that you already had to spend some resource to kill, it's just not worth it. And also 2 Life's pretty relevant, as we saw. These zombie decks don't win by overkill, they win by exactly, usually.
Yeah.
So...
Rampant Growth.
Yep. Rampant Growth for Gerald, only a Gravecrawler for Andrew.
And this is one of those times where you're kind of scared, Your opponent has 3 lands in play, you have 1 land in play.
Yeah, and it'll be 4-2 soon. Huntmaster could come out when you only have 3 permanents in play. That's scary.
That's really scary.
So Gerald gets knocked to 18. We'll see if Andrew can land a Distress. No, it just says go. Wow, no creature, no Distress.
That's
No
rough.
Mortar Pot even. So Gerald casts, Another Rampant Growth. That's 4 mana. I know he has a Sphere of the Suns in his hand, so if he has a land, he can play that too.
Yeah, and then he's golden. He's ready to take Andrew to Frown Town with anything off the top of the stack.
Titan Town.
Yeah, Titan Town.
But no, he doesn't have any more land after that.
Oh no.
So this might be the opportunity Andrew needs. Let's hope he can add a messenger to his board or a captain.
That's pretty good.
Both are good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as long as Gerald doesn't have a Galvanic Blast, and he doesn't.
Cool.
So
good for Andrew.
Yeah.
So Gerald
Andrew knocking Gerald out of 15 here.
Copperline Gorge will come into play tapped. Not the land he wanted to draw, but he'll take it. Any 6th land is fine, because Inferno Titan will make an appearance next turn. And here, Andrew really needs to draw Distress. If there's any time to do it, it's now. Ooh, Metamorph's good.
Yeah,
Copy
that captain.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have a Slag Storm, I win.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he says.
Crash in for 7 damage, dropping Gerald to 8.
Yep.
Now he'll have an Inferno Titan, will kill off 1 captain.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but it will also deal, it will deal Gerald 1, dropping him to 7 life. Trying to decide which one to kill, the Metamorph or the captain.
Goes with the captain.
Seems reasonable.
That's very reasonable. He may have sided in the Ancient Grudges.
Right.
I would.
So he says take 1, drops Gerald to 7, and he can put him to 4 on command here.
And that's pretty good.
Yeah. 4 is just a messenger away from death. And that's 3 mana. Ooh, Metamorph. Copying Inferno Titan. Take
and
3.
And that's a magic little number there.
It is. Wow, Image. Copy Inferno Titan. Take 3. Oh, he
killed the Inferno Titan?
Well,
it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter too much.
Gerald's at 1 now.
Both lines of play kill Gerald no matter what.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing bad that could happen. That line of play is actually way cooler.
Right. Actually, no, double Slag Storm. Yeah, actually, that line of play loses to double Slag Storm.
Oh, yeah, unless he has... Well, he can't have Slag Storm based on what you've played so far.
Right.
He would have cast Slag Storm if he had one of it.
Yeah, the only way that...
It's impossible.
The only way it could have happened was he just drew Slag Storm the turn he cast Titan, and then he draws another one. So pretty unlikely.
Well, no, because he would have cast Slag Storm instead of Titan there. He would have killed Andrew's entire board.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Not leave himself open to Image.
Yeah.
So unless Andrew knocks his deck into the trash can, he has won this match. Six mana.
Yeah, and those 2 Inferno Titans are just too much to deal with.
Yeah,
he's at 2. If either one of them attacks, he's dead before they even get into combat math.
Yeah, they're barely in the red zone before he's dead.
The breath of an Inferno Titan and a handshake.
So congratulations to Andrew Wilson.
Andrew Wilson going on top 8.
Won that match 3-0.
His deck's actually really sweet. I like the distress is really good.
Yeah,
I want to see more distresses in these decks now.